You want to tell the people your 7 gremlins?
Oh, okay. My 7. So, okay, according to Kevin here, you know how there's 7 dwarfs? I have 7 gremlins, apparently. So, my 7 gremlins are the sugar gremlin, because I like sugar.
Sugar.
The insomnia gremlin, because my sleep is all over the place.
The insomnia gremlin is getting the better of us right now.
Yeah. My anxiety gremlin, because, yeah, I'm a nut job. My I hate people gremlin, because people get on my nerves a lot. My creative gremlin, he doesn't like to show up when I want him to. He just comes and goes as he pleases. Yeah, exactly.
Only when he feels it.
I love how I'm saying all my gremlins are he's. Like, I don't know, but okay. And then what were my other ones? There were 2 more. My lazy gremlin. Because there are days where I'm like, I have 0 motivation. I don't want to do anything. Like, just...
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Back for another video.
Oh yeah.
This one is going to be kind of a quick one, but since we have been in LA, and Eliza's actually from the New York kind of area, in Connecticut, but close to New York,
yeah.
and she went to college in New York, we figured we would make a video comparing the differences between LA and New York.
Yes, based on their acting when it comes to theater, film, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So... this will be a short video because a lot of people do know that New York is kind of like the capital for all things like theater acting and Broadway, whereas LA is sort of known for being like the film capital of the industry. But if you don't know that, there you go. But I will say, even though they're very similar in more ways than people might think, they also have their differences in the sense that one is more so known for one specific type of acting than the other. But what I will say, at least what I've found in LA, is there's actually a lot more theater acting than people might think. Because I know when coming to LA, people are like, oh, there's like no theater, no musical theater. And that's not actually true. I know a lot of people that actually like just work as musical theater and theater performers in LA, and they constantly have work. I mean, obviously that's kind of pre-COVID, and that's been a little difficult recently, but there's more theater out here than you think. You just have to really look for it, because a lot of it is out of like small theater companies and stuff like that, so it's there. You just really have to look for it. I know Kevin has done a lot of plays
I used to
out here,
produce
so.
shows and like assistant direct shows and like run shows in theaters around here. We're always looking for actors, so yeah. And I did shows myself, and yeah, there's a decent theater scene in LA. Obviously, nothing compares to Broadway and New York and London if you go outside the country. But yeah, there's plenty of stuff. It's basically what you want to make of it in LA.
Yeah, that is the one main difference when it comes to theater acting. Like, if you have your heart set on being on Broadway one day, then you definitely want to go to New York, because then you have small theater companies like you would here, but then you have off-Broadway, you have Broadway. There's a ton of like dance classes, singing classes, musical theater classes, regular theater classes. Like, that's definitely where you want to be if you want to get to that level of theater. But if it's something you just enjoy, or just another part of acting you want to explore, you could definitely do that in LA. I will say though, even on the flip side of that, a lot of people say that there's not a ton of filming in New York, and that is kind of true. New York, it's very like specific types of filming. I find that they do more like cop shows, and like even though there's Chicago PD, like they'll do stuff like that, and like firemen and like 911 themed sort of shows there. So it's like very specific, and it requires very specific types of actors. So I will say that's the only one thing. Like, if you do want to be someone who goes into film, that's the only sort of downfall of doing film in New York. Whereas in LA, like, you can do anything and everything. Like, pretty much everything films in LA. Like, any kind of, whether it's there's a lot of student films done out here, there's a lot of TV shows filming out here, movies, whether it's action, adventure, cop show, fantasy, all that sort of stuff. Like, a lot of it you will definitely find in LA. There's no limit to what you can find film-wise in LA, believe me.
Yeah, there's like a lot of commercials, like almost anything, honestly. Yeah. A lot of stuff comes out of LA, obviously.
Yeah, I sometimes am shocked to find out, like, oh, that film's in LA? Okay, that doesn't surprise me too much, because everything films here, but it is kind of, like, funny to find out, like, oh, there's yet another thing that films out here.
And like we talked about before in other videos, which if you haven't seen, we did a background video.
Yes,
on
we
background
did.
And audience
So make sure you check it out.
Yeah, so check that out. But in that one, we talk about LA, there's a lot of audience work and stuff like that. There's some in other places too, but not as much. And so check that one out.
Yeah, I will say that because there's a lot of filming opportunity in general in LA. There's also going to be a lot more background work and audience work opportunity here, which again, depending on what type of acting you want to go to, can be a really big pro or con. It really just depends on the person. And yeah, I will say, you know, they both have those in common where you might find more acting in theater in LA and New York than you may think. Because they do exist. It's not like one has just Broadway and one has just film and that's it. But obviously one, again, is a lot more known for one than the other. And along with, you know, other places like Chicago's known for comedy. Vancouver's coming up with a lot of film. Georgia's coming up with a lot of film, you know, stuff like that. But as far as the ones that are like the biggest well-known, it's LA for film and New York for Broadway. And those are really the big points, if you didn't already know, if you're some of my newbie actors out there. So that's just, you know, a little tidbit for you there.
Yeah. So would you say the usual like LA kind of like dream of like you get your headshot and then you go to a bunch of auditions, like you say that's pretty accurate?
Oh yeah. I mean, I would definitely say they're more like film oriented, because the number of theater auditions I've had out here versus film auditions have been like, it's been a big difference. Like I've maybe gone to Haunted Hayride that I did in 2019 was technically live theater. And then I did an audition for a small musical that was going on, but literally everything else, and I've been on a lot of auditions, has been for film out here. When I was in New York, I didn't do too much auditioning because I was in school at the time, so I was really just trying to focus on that. But anyone I know that was going on for auditions, it was always like some theater or Broadway or dance call. Like I very rarely heard of anyone going up for a film audition in New York. So
yeah, so New York's like you go to like a workshop kind of thing, like you dance, you do like
triple
threat.
That is another thing I will say. Like it is very much triple threat in New York, and I mean I don't necessarily find this to be true, but a lot of people say New York is a lot more cutthroat because, at least just from thinking about it in my schooling experience, not necessarily like the actors, but like the actors in New York are a lot more like serious, like this is what we're doing, we're like going for it and that, whereas LA it's very more like laid back.
Like,
I feel like
chill, dude, like
oh my god,
let's just do it again.
But yeah, it's a lot more laid back and chill in LA versus New York, where it's like, okay, this is what we're getting done, we have to be on point. And especially with the auditions, because a lot of it is for Broadway, oh my god, the calls can go on for hours, for days, whereas in LA, it's usually like one little thing, you come in for 5 minutes and that's it, and if you have a call back, you have another day where you come in for 5 minutes and that's it. But in New York, it's usually there's a dance call, and there's a singing call, and there's like maybe an acting call if they like you, and it's a lot more extensive in New York. That is definitely one thing. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's my little, note for you guys today.
So yeah, it's just some of the things. You can check them out.
Yeah.
We just want to make this little quick video because obviously Eliza has experience in both. So yes, please message her, let her know any questions you have.
Or if you find anything helpful or you want more information on anything, please just let me know.
Be sure to like and subscribe. Check out other videos we have that are kind of similar to this. So make sure you get like the full experience, so you get the full context of everything we're saying.
Yes, and make sure you also check out more Kevin's-based videos on our finance stuff that can definitely help you, whether you're an actor or not.
Whether you are in New York or LA, you will have to spend money. So
yes, wherever you are in the country or in the world, yes, those videos can definitely help you out.
So like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys again soon.
Bye. Like, just leave me alone. Don't talk to me. I want to watch TV all day. Especially right now because I'm rewatching Once Upon a Time. Yeah. Okay, what's the last one? I said sugar, lazy, anxiety, insomnia, I hate people.
Crying gremlin.
Oh yes, my crying gremlin, because I feel like I'm always crying, which is annoying because even I could be happy, I could be pissed, I could be sad, and my automatic button is like, okay, time to cry. I'm just like, I'm like, I don't want to cry.
You can be so tired that you want to cry.
Oh yeah, there are some times where like if I haven't gotten like good sleep in days, or like there was one day last week I didn't sleep till 5 a.m. and even the days prior I didn't sleep all that great. Like I only got maybe 3 or 4 hours at most. Yeah, I wanted to cry because I how frustrated and how tired I was.